is March 17th, St. Patrick Paws Day in the United States and Canada and Ireland, and this is What Chaos. Stuck in Florida, I'm David Bean, Pete Blackburn in the Sports Interaction studio, and holding it down in the City of Champs is Sean DePaz. Pete, I miss the Sports Interaction studio. I'm kind of hating being stuck in Florida. Yesterday was a better day, but get me home. How's Boston?
It's lovely. I love this studio. It misses you too, pal.
Nice. You know what? I bet like it's all like clean and you're listening to your music at like tolerable volumes without me leaving my pizza boxes and playing my guitar all loud in there.
I did clean up. I have been listening to my audiobooks during the show prep. It's been, be honest, it's pretty nice. I like when my wife leaves. I like when my partner leaves. I just like being alone. It's the best.
So once again, the things that you have in common with my girlfriend are horrifying in terms of like, I like to clean and torture myself with how quickly you can change things. I'll tell you what though, brother, I'm going to come before you know it. I'm going to be skateboarding back in there and doing ollies and doing just like, remember when I did a 900 in there? Yeah.
I know you're Sean White.
Not to make you boys jealous, but look what I got in studio. Oh yeah,
Banger. Where'd you get
Maynard's
those from?
Fuzzy Peaches. We got these as a gift from my friend Rachel Dory, now Rachel Krishak. Sent them for the 24-hour stream, and they didn't get here in time. So now I get to reap the benefits of that.
No, that doesn't rule. That's devastating. I mean, it rules that she did that. It's devastating that the only reason, like, I introduced both of you to Fuzzy Peaches, right?
Yeah,
no doubt.
And I miss out on the Fuzzy Peaches. That's devastating.
Well, I will save my I don't know how many packs are there. Just two?
No, there's a whole box. I've done some damage on the box, but there's more. There will be some waiting for you. It's been a horrible sequence of events that they came and arrived to me at my house after the 24-hour stream, and I was just been smoking and absolutely doing a lot of damage on that whole box.
You're a good man for even letting us know.
I know.
You could have kept all that to yourself, and I would have been none the wiser. I almost wish you had done that, to be quite honest.
Sean, you live like 10 minutes away from Canada.
I know.
You don't get to talk here.
I could literally go. I could leave right now and be back before this show is halfway done with a pound bag of Fuzzy Peaches.
Really? We need to count how many bags are remaining and see if they can last, because we are seeing you again soon, Sean. Like the countdown to, knock on wood, although I think at this point we can all say they're going to make the playoffs. The countdown to the Buffalo house is on. I will abstain. I will get my Finland and Sweden on and just abstain, sit it out. And
you don't have to though.
See how many can last.
We could go literally 10 minutes from the arena and just go get them in Canada.
Pete, how do you feel about going to Canada during Buffalo house time?
I don't have any aversion to it.
You're basically in Canada already.
My only issue would be, like, you never know anymore. Would we be let back in?
Yeah,
it's
and
fine.
Would Buffalo be offended if we went to Buffalo and the first thing we did was go to Canada?
Well, it can't be the first thing you do.
Right.
I still think you should get to Buffalo prior to the playoffs. They do play the Bruins next week. But I don't think so. Like, did you know that the team name Sabres is spelled the way it is as a tribute to the French fans in Canada, more or less?
French?
How do you feel about that, Sean?
I hated it when I learned it, but it's my team's name, so I have to embrace it.
I mean, the Sabres are doing too much to appease the friends north of the border. They do the anthem. They change the spelling. It's just like...
No,
are you in the United States or are you in Canada?
There was a time. I know you've been, I guess, brainwashed over the last. How long has that guy been in office? But they used to be our greatest ally.
I mean, I still consider Canada to be like friends and one of our greatest allies. So that hasn't changed. I know that they probably don't like us as much as they used to, like 5-6 years ago, whatever it may be. I still consider the Canadians to be great friends of mine, especially because they brought Fuzzy Peaches into my lives. There's people in the chat asking what Fuzzy Peaches are. Maynard's Fuzzy Peaches. If you like peach rings, Like peach rings, I think are like the Americanized version that people are more familiar with.
Yeah.
They're peach rings, but they're way better. They're solid and they're way juicier. When
They're
you bite into
juicier.
them, they're so juicy. It's the best.
I like the peach rings though. Those are still
They're
very
like
good.
tough.
I had peach rings last night. Depends on where you get them from. If you get store brand, like if you get 7-Eleven or Circle K brand peach rings, those things are money. They're still not as good as Maynard's, but they are always soft and chewy.
That does remind me. Came up with a little game the other day because Sean, jealous, went to Van Leeuwen, and we were like,
yes.
man, like high-end ice cream, it seems so unnecessary, but you get certain flavors and you get certain ice cream parlors, and you are like, damn. And it led us to a game of you pick 3 to 4 things. One of them can be high-end. One of them is low end, and then the other 1 or 2 are in the middle. So, for example, like ice cream, a burger, or like whatever.
Like which one do you want the high end version of?
And there are so many things that you would take. Like a low end burger is pretty fucking awesome. Like that just means that shit's gonna be greasy.
A low end burger can suck though. It can suck. For me, ice cream is probably the safest. Like DJ, I know you're an ice cream snob, but for me, like ice cream is typically ice cream. Like I know that there's
like
definitely
McDonald's
a
ice
difference
cream
when
bags.
there's great ice cream, but the floor on ice cream is still pretty high.
Yeah, I think if we're going, I know it's a 3-thing thing, but if we're just going between burgers and ice cream, I think I definitely, because like I think ice cream has a lower ceiling too. Like at a certain point, it is just ice cream.
Did we do ice cream in
whereas
Philadelphia?
like a great burger. Yeah, we went to Van Leeuwen.
Okay, yeah, I thought I hallucinated that.
It was very good. I had like an apple crisp, a caramel apple crisp flavor, and that shit banged. Like it was great. Ice cream is very good, but I think that the ceiling. Oh, and somebody in the chat, and this is I would say a point. I don't want to say a point of contention, but somewhere between where DJ and I differ, and I think Pete and I align, is low end coffee. Like
Julia threw this
love
at me.
coffee.
When we were, because I would pose 3 things to her, and she posed 1 to me, and she was like really trying to hit me where it hurts. She said water, she said coffee, and she was like, and with the note that the low end water is Dasani, it's not tap. Because I was going to say,
if you're choosing
tap
water,
water,
you're
I can. What's that?
Like if you're choosing the water there, like if you're choosing the low end water there, you're insane. Like I would much rather low end coffee than like dog shit water.
I think
somehow
I got
Dasani makes you more thirsty, and that like I can't drink water that makes me more thirsty. That is an abomination.
I think that as long as like the low end coffee is still made correctly, because coffee can be made incorrectly. You can use great beans, and you can just have it really, really weak. And if I have a weak cup of coffee, it's useless, and I'm so mad. But if like Pete has kind of perfected the diner drip coffee in our studio, and that is my favorite cup of coffee now, because it means production. It means getting shit done, and Pete makes it well. We're not using $20 beans. We're just grabbing what we're grabbing. And Pete makes the quote unquote like low end coffee well. So it's all relative.
A man with layers, an upper middle class man who makes a blue collar working man's cup of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, you move to Brooklyn, you could sell that shit for like open up a place. It's like, hey, he makes bad coffee and it's like so good. People would spend a lot of money on that.
And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, because Catherine said Dasani tastes like it's a squirt gun that's been outside for a few days.
Yes,
like, I would rather, but that's not even true.
Description of Dasani
But
I've ever
You would
heard.
take squirt gun water?
I would take squirt gun water over Dasani. Like like hose water beats out Dasani literally every single time. Like a good Texas
I don't
hose
think
water.
I mentioned this on the show when we posted the clip of the water taste test from last year's 24-hour stream. James Van Riemsdyk chimed in and was like, I have water thoughts. I'm a water snob. You guys got to try this water, which aligns with everything that we've heard about JVR being like the man who experiments and tries to find like the best version of whatever, recovery thing, fitness thing, water thing, just a man who like treats his body like it is not an experiment, but just like a real well-oiled machine.
We should for sure have him on to talk water.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked water with one of his teammates last year, Kent Johnson, but maybe we got the wrong guy. We talked Bin Laden with James Van Riemsdyk. That was the
somebody in the
mistake.
chat whose username is the Water Snob. He just said, "My time has come."
Oh, yeah, I think I told you about
Stars
this. Have I
aligning.
told you about the water subreddit?
No, but
there's a
I mean,
subreddit
it's
for
not going to
everything.
be a shock to me. I know that there's a subreddit for literally everything.
I think it's called like H2O Bros or something. And my friend Scott, before he got kicked off of Reddit for saying that like Nazis should be killed, was a big fan. Yeah, Reddit kicked him off. They were like, you can't talk about killing people. And he was like, was talking about Nazis. And they were like, sorry, man, you got to go. Don't know how. Don't know if Reddit handled that the best, but Scott, when he wasn't doing that, was on this H2O Reddit where people talk about good water. And I'm not the biggest Reddit person, but I'd be into that Reddit. Oh, it's called Hydro Homies. Yes,
That's a better name.
That's
than
way
H2O.
better than
Yeah.
H2O Bros. Yeah.
I live in a place where I have the privilege of living in a place, and have for most of my life, with the exception of living in Arizona, where the tap water is good, and I only drink tap water. Unless
like
I'm at
we've,
an airport or something.
This has all the
I'm a
makings of a Patreon episode right now.
Yes.
Shall we do
Well, two
today
things
on the
I did
show?
want to know. We'll do that first. We'll do that in a second. I'm sorry. Amanda in the chat came up with St. Patrick Pause, which I thought was really good because I didn't know it was St. Patrick's Day until Amanda said that. And the other thing is I complained about being stuck in Florida, and I would like to apologize. Ultimately, I have it pretty good. I was reading about how Misty Copeland in 2012 got the biggest role of her career. She was 29 years old, gets the lead in Firebird, but has 6 stress fractures in her left tibia. Think about that.
Damn.
You're a ballerina, and like your leg is going to just break, and she plays through injury. Like Misty the
She
goat.
still danced on it.
She danced on it.
That isn't. I said it yesterday. I said only good things about ballet yesterday, and amongst them was that it's very difficult, it's very demanding, and they damn near torture the young men and women who do ballet in the quest of becoming like the professionals. So that's fucking insane.
Well, Pete, we've got a great show, and I would love if you could tell the folks what's on it.
Would love to do it. Today on the show, we're talking belt to costume. That's right. Your Colorado Avalanche played dress up last night, and they got their fucking asses kicked. We'll discuss that. The New York Rangers lost because of what? I'll spoil it. There's allegations that they lost because of gay, and that is the funniest thing to happen this season.
Got to hear both
no
sides.
holds barred. That is the best. The Mammoth versus Timothy Chalamet. You'll never guess what that one's about. And finally, the World Cup of Abstinence. What?
Finally.
This seems like a classic like I don't know, like I guess like DJ being specific in the sense that like I think most people hear abstinence and they think those guys aren't fucking. But I feel like abstinence in general probably means just the practice of abstaining from something.
I am a
Yeah,
big
I
fan
guess.
of what does the word mean, and I can be maybe a little like I could have used a different word, but I wanted to push that abstinence means the act of abstaining, and
of
there are
restraining?
teams that are threatening to.
I feel like
Go ahead.
abstaining is typically used generally, but abstinence is always used for sex.
I agree
Okay,
with
it's
that.
interesting you say that because if you Google abstinence, the definition says the fact or practice of restraining oneself from indulging in something, typically alcohol. And I feel like that's not true.
They don't.
I mean, like it's true. You can
That's
abstain.
the
You can
only thing
abstain
I
from
abstain
anything.
from, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing I abstain from, and I've never said that.
Yeah,
But, like,
they don't.
saying
The AA
typically-
doesn't stand for Abstinence Anonymous. I feel like that would be the biggest signal for that.
Like, I don't. Yeah, you're wrong there, Google. Like, you don't. That's not what that means.
Chat
Normally.
said to Sean, who said he only said nice things about the ballet yesterday. Chat says, you literally said ballerinas should be thrown in a volcano yesterday with the frowny face.
We do
True,
have an
true,
update from
true.
yesterday, by the way, that just came out this morning. George Parros responded to Connor McDavid. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. He said, we have a process.
He was like, we're trying our best. Basically, that's summarizing the quote. It's a long quote. We sweat over these decisions and pour over these decisions every night all season long. That's got to be a lie. There's not shit that happens every single night. Some nights you get to take a break. Way to over exaggerate, George. We have a process in place that's consistent. And we have a team that works for me and together with me that evaluates all these plays. Very experienced team, a veteran team. All right,
I love a me in there.
He's
LeBron.
making it all about me, and he's just saying we work really hard.
What is he in the opera? Me.
So, because then we wouldn't know about him. He also goes on to say that like there's a lot of guys on this team who have been there since the beginning, and a lot of the responses were, "That's exactly the problem, George." Yeah, like you're making it all about you and the fact that nothing has changed since the start, which are the exact problems that everyone has with the Department of Player Safety. I feel like I've been very defensive of them in the past. Like I think it is a very hard job, but then lately like the hit on McAvoy in particular, I was just like, all right, you guys just aren't doing anything anymore. What's happening there? That's the clearest, like, somebody needs to be suspended for that ever. So I can't defend them as much anymore.
He also says guys that have been there since the beginning of the department, not to mention all the former players that have a large set of experience playing NHL games and accolades. We didn't mention this yesterday. I think a big problem that people have with George Parros is that he's running the player safety department as a guy who is, like, most notorious for being an enforcer during his NHL days and like kind of towing that line, which like I don't necessarily think is an inherently bad thing because that's somebody who knows sort of like the code and what is and isn't on the right side of that line. So I'm not going to say it's inherently bad, but that is a problem that some people have. So for George Parros to be like, we got a lot of former players in here. It's like, yeah, but which players and what was their reputation when they played? I think is an important part. But the final line in the statement, we've got great guys who make these decisions, and I think the players should be confident in this team to do so. Well, one of the best players in the league just said that he's not confident in the team to do so. So you being like, listen, we've got it covered. Be confident in us. It's not really a great statement as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and another one of the players in the league would weigh in, but he's out for the season, and his body is wired shut because of something that cut a 5-game suspension. I kid there, or I exaggerate at the very least.
Feel free to ignore this if this is too close to hit chat, but we never really discussed. Like, what was Gudas supposed to get? Like, what did people want Gudas? How long did people want Gudas' suspension to be?
So this is close to hit chat, and I'll say that like if that's somebody other than Gudas, it probably gets. I don't think anyone has a huge reaction to it getting 5 games. That's
I mean, but that's a big part of it, right? Because he's been suspended 5 times, 5+, and he's got that reputation. It came on the heels of the Olympics, which like it probably shouldn't factor in because it's not an NHL tournament. But like people are fed up with Radko Gudas, and I think it would have been received better had they made it an in-person hearing and then gave him 5 games. Because you set the max at 5 games.
Right. I'd love to hit some of this stuff that happened in the Avalanche game last night because the slate looked pretty bad, but I kind of enjoyed myself. I caught a little bit of Bruins and Devils. I'll have a Bruins thought that we'll give later when we do Sports Interaction. And then got to see the Penguins take absolute belt to ass on the Avalanche playing dress up. What's that?
Yeah, we decided it's got to be put belt to ass, not take belt to ass.
Yes, I'm sorry.
The Avs took belt to ass.
Yes, the Avs received belt to costumed ass because the Avalanche played dress up, and I don't have too many, like, I feel like it's like a borderline political thing when people hate that the Avalanche wear the Nordique stuff. But all I know is I have firmly arrived in the camp that I do not like when the Avalanche wear Nordique stuff. So whenever they are playing dress up, I want funny things to happen to them. And I'll tell you what, it ended up just being the Penguins show last night. Penguins smoked them. Welcome back, Geno Malkin. 7-2 win. Malkin gets 2 goals and an assist. First time playing since he tried to kill Rasmus Dahlin. We've been over that. There was also this Erik Karlsson pregame interview where he was asked about defending Nathan MacKinnon. Sean?
Player in the world, Nathan MacKinnon, arguably one of them. You're one of the best defensemen for a long time. What's going through your head when you're seeing 29 coming at you?
Oh shit, here we go.
Thanks for your time.
Well, we apologize for the language, but we certainly understand the sentiment. I would say, EJ.
All right.
They didn't apologize
what I liked
for
most.
language. That was the was the most. We don't apologize. I have to say we apologize, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did Pete? You'll remember this. You know the movie the House where Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. You know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, Sebastian Maniscalco performing stand-up for one person in the crowd in the living room.
Our favorite part of a bad movie. Like, really, we got so much content out of this. There's a scene where Sebastian Maniscalco is doing stand-up in the living room, and there is one person in the audience, and they're like locked eyes as one person is doing stand-up to the other, and they're like moving together and laughing together. That was the vibe there in that interview. I love that. Like, I could take or leave the whole Erik Karlsson says, "Oh shit, here comes Nathan MacKinnon," because Erik Karlsson should say that when literally anybody is coming his way. Because if you do not know, Erik Karlsson is a terrible defenseman.
He's bad in his own end. But I will say, though, something that we haven't discussed this season with the Penguins turnaround is like, yeah, we've talked about Malkin, we've talked about Sid. Erik Karlsson's having a really good year, and we thought that this guy was pretty much useless heading into this season. So, like, a pretty good turnaround for Erik Karlsson, and he's always been a fun guy with a little bit of whimsy to him.
I mean, his look is just very, like, give that man a sword. He looks like he would fuck up a sword fight.
I mean, he's famously, I don't know if he's actually worn swords or brought swords, but he's dressed as a pirate before, and it's looked very on brand.
Yeah, so Metal Stoofs said, and I don't know, Sean, if our audio was up when this part was played, but you're one of the best defensemen in the NHL for a very long time was like possibly the funniest part of that whole exchange, but maybe not funnier than this. After the first period, Elmer Soderblom spoke to Andy Petrillo for one of those little intermission hits, and there was a crucial piece of the production missing. Let's see if you can guess what it is.
Well,
and as you can see, I forgot my step stool. But this has to feel good. That was such an entertaining first period. But more importantly, you get your first goal with the Pittsburgh Penguins. How did that feel?
Felt really good.
All right, come back, Sean.
Go to the net, then, yeah.
Obviously, there is some massive height mogging going on here, but Elmer Soderblom is a huge person. It isn't just that it was a person on skates speaking to someone who was not on skates. Elmer Soderblom is 6'8", and I hope that Andy Petrillo has a sense of humor about that, because the size discrepancy there was like there had to be some special effects going on. It felt like, because the size of each person was just jarring.
There had to have been something that they could have done for poor Andy in this situation. Like, let her stand on an audio equipment box or something. Have Elmer Soderblom sit down for this interview. I know it's between periods, but that is, speaking as a very short person myself, I don't know how I would compare to Andy Petrillo. I've never met Andrew Petrillo. I've heard really good things. That is a real tough look. It's tough.
First off, big week for boxes because, or I guess like the end of last week, they had Rob Ray interview Logan Stanley on a custom-made box.
Oh, that was custom?
Yeah, it was it was painted blue and it had Rob Ray's number and everything on it.
That rocks.
But also, I was gonna say they need to do like the COVID style interviews where they have the player like 6 feet behind. Obviously, there's the famous Gene clip where Zach Hyman started talking to him without Gene having asked anything. But like, if you have him like 6 feet behind, the perspective will even that out a little bit. I couldn't really hear you there, Gene, but
I love that you say. Obviously, there's a famous clip.
I mean,
yeah.
That
Google
was
says that
legendary.
Andy Petrillo is 5'9", which is not short. So
I mean, 6'8". I was going to ask that. Are the listed heights in the NHL on skates or no?
no.
Okay,
No.
so then he was probably like damn near 7 feet tall there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, this is every now and then we'll have some stuff ready for the show, and we're like, okay, we have a pretty basic rundown, a couple of things that we can laugh at, but there's no like, holy shit, can't wait to talk about this moment. And then I saw Ron Duguay's Twitter. The Rangers lost to the Kings last night, and a former player suspects it was because of gay. Last night, the Rangers held their Pride Night, and shout out Rangers players. A lot of them doing the Pride tape during warmups, which was really cool. Peter Ball had a tweet, and there's Casio or something posted these pictures of players with Pride tape. So that's great. JT Miller, Vincent Iorio, Braden Schneider, Mika Zibanejad, Connor Sheary, Will Borgen among the players who wear Pride tape. That is fantastic. Kings went on to lose this game to the Kings 4-1, which led to a tweet from former Rangers player and current Sarah Palin boyfriend, Ron Duguay. I'm going to sound like I have some sort of disease as I try to read this. I swear I'm pretty good at reading, but I tried to read this out loud earlier, and it is tough, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I didn't want to say it before the game, but I saw this coming tonight, down 4-1 after singing national anthem to Rainbow Flag to a small group. Bad idea, bad mojo. I don't blame all of the Rangers organization. It's only a select few college brain washed up, woked kids pushing their agenda, devil face guy, on others in the organization. Shrug person?
Shrug. Yeah, shrug emoji.
I believe, capital A, at least 70% of the fans tonight wanted no part of it at all. At a Rangers game, just wanted a family night out. Husband, wife, and kids, prayer hands emoji. That's what New York Rangers need to celebrate. Ranger leadership needs to show some courage and stop this. Sean, you know what question I'm asking next. What are we looking at here? How many you gotta... I know that he paid for the check mark so he could get more characters, but you got to take some away. Pete, what do you make of Ron? What do you got, Sean?
You left out the most important detail of all of this.
What?
Is that he deleted the tweet this morning.
Oh, so he needs to show some courage.
Yes.
Yes.
Stand by it if you're going to be fucking
also,
stupid.
like, say it before the game if you thought it. You don't get to do the, ooh, I saw this coming. I thought it before the game. You got to trust me. Stand on business. Stand on business. If you want to head into a Pride game and be like, oh, this is for the woke, they're going to lose this game because of gay, say it before the game. Bitch.
Yeah, the reason you felt like they were going to lose this game was because the Rangers were playing in it, respectfully. The Rangers
were
last
playing at
in
home
the Eastern Conference.
In particular. The Rangers
stink
have
at
been
home.
Ass cheeks all season long at home. They are 9-16-6 at Madison Square Garden this year. How many fucking Pride Nights are they having?
So I wanted to read this tweet from Matthew Auchincloss. I DM'd them for pronunciation of their name, but I am awaiting a response. So Matthew, if I pronounced your name wrong, I apologize, but I appreciate your work. The New York Rangers have lost by at least 3 goals approximately 15 times this season, and they were notably not celebrating the LGBTQ plus community at any of those previous games. I don't think the existence of a rainbow flag is the issue with this team. Devil's advocate, we don't know what they were doing in the locker room before the game. They might have been given like a, hey,
their own
like
personal Pride Nights.
Yes, they're like, you know what, we're only allowed to have one of these a season because of snowflakes. So before every game, we're going to say we're doing this one for the LGBTQ plus community. Let's go out there. Let's make hockey the best sport and community it can be. They get out there, get the shit kicked out of them. They're like, damn, we are having bad luck with these nights where we're trying to be good guys. But yes, Mr. Duguay, it was for sure that it was a Rangers game. That is why they lost the game.
Well, also, like, if they had won, would he have been like, gotta have Pride Night every night, brother? Like, because the implication with this tweet is that he doesn't have a problem with gay people or Pride Night. He has a problem with the fact that it's distracting the New York Rangers. Like, if they had won, would he be like,
I think, Sean,
we need to start having
I've seen some other
same-sex
tweets.
weddings
I did a
intermission?
quick venture on over to
I
his
know,
profile.
I
and it
know
does
that
not
he's just
seem that
actually a
he had
homophobe.
I think there's something deeper going on here.
If there were a
agree,
team,
but
if there were a team that was so distracted
Mr.
by their
Duque.
allyship,
yeah, I was waiting for this. Like, people have been calling him Mr. His name is Duguay. Like,
Mr. Duque.
yeah, I mean that's his name. I love the thought though that they are so distracted by gay rights and being pro-gay rights in the LGBTQ plus community that they're fucking up at their day job. I mean, that to me, I think, is an admirable cross to bear. If we were to find out the New York Rangers have been bad this season because they cannot stop thinking about, talking about, and expressing their support for gay rights, that they're forgetting to practice, that they don't know what their forecheck is anymore, I think I'm a Rangers guy. I would say, like, ultimately, yeah, like, your job is to go out and win hockey games, but there are bad teams every year. I'll take a team being bad because they like gay people too much. That's cool for me.
It's a fun little twist.
yeah, I'd like to
did
think
Ron
that.
Duguay just save
also
hockey?
the JT Miller led JT Miller, by the way, Pride Tape last night. JT Miller led Rangers being too woke is very funny to me.
Yeah.
After they trade famous woke person Chris Kreider, by the way,
And Jacob Trouba.
or I guess that, yeah, I think that might have been. Are they both famously woke?
Trouba is.
Trouba, I know. Yeah, Trouba, I think, is who I was thinking of. But yeah, I mean, he also doesn't give he blames the Rangers organization. Like, the players put Pride Tape on themselves. Like, they famously didn't have to do that.
Yeah, but they're part of the Rangers organization.
Yeah, but I'm based on some of the tweets we read, I don't think everyone did. So they definitely, if they were like, listen, I got a game to play, I can't be thinking about gay rights right now because that'll be far too much on my brain to be able to think about gay rights and also play a good hockey game.
I don't know. Just the idea of somebody,
know.
an analyst or somebody who prides themselves as an analyst, saying that they lost this game because of gay is just the funniest explanation for a loss this season for a team that sucks.
No, yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I'm sure that some, and the chat, because it rules, is having a lot of fun with this. I'm sure that there is a read on this, which is, why would you platform such an insane take? Because
funny.
It is the funniest thing maybe in the world that a man who is up there in age who watches every Rangers game and they suck. Watches one time they put Pride Tape on their sticks and is like, yeah, I'm thinking it's because of the tape. That is outrageous.
Famously,
and that is what we do on this show.
Famously, his girlfriend said that Matt Rempe was the solution to all of their problems, and that they needed him to beat up on the softies or whatever she said. So they would seem to watch a lot of Rangers hockey, but not like comprehend what's actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, and this is they're probably the easiest team to figure out.
That's what I'm saying.
Aren't they?
Like, how can you not yeah, man, I don't know. There's so many other things that I would be interested if, like, they go on a 10-game losing streak and then 2 weeks from now they're like, if they hadn't gone woke, they wouldn't have lost 10 straight games. Like, if they just blame everything for the rest of time on the fact that they went woke one time.
Pronunciation update from the man himself, Matthew Auchincloss. Thank you very much, Matthew, for the good work. Those numbers. We didn't need those numbers. Could have guessed that the Rangers have lost a bunch of games by 3+ goals, but you were able to confirm that. So thank you very much. Yeah, Ron Duque, this one was a miss. Maybe that's why he deleted the tweet, but who knows? Maybe he saw Matthews' information and was like, oh, damn. Turns out they've lost multiple games this season.
Also,
Yes,
side note on deleting the tweet. When the tweet was up, he disabled comments.
Yes, that's
I
also
did see
another
that.
Just
absolute coward behavior
stand
left
on
and right.
business.
At least Sarah Palin calls us out and ats us.
Yeah, right.
Sarah Palin's a maverick. She's not afraid.
Respectable bad opinions.
Well, respectable approach to having
Respectable
bad opinions.
approach to having bad opinions.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Speaking of bad opinions, the Utah Mammoth have responded to Timothy Chalamet's horrible and misguided comments about ballet and opera. Sean, hit me.
Ballet or opera.
Oh, the Magic Flute? Oh, I love Mozart.
Big shout out to the Utah Opera.
I love the Nutcracker.
Shout out Ballet West.
Or, things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive.
I love La Traviata and Verdi.
Swan Lake is so cool.
Even though no one cares about this anymore.
Madame Butterfly is so sad. Puccini's the GOAT, though.
That's the best one. Puccini's the GOAT.
Puccini's the GOAT.
It's funny that Utah is the team that is Utah like a big. Is there like a hub of ballet or something out there, or do they just have
Every
a good
place is the
social
hub
media
of
team?
ballet, which is what we were trying to tell you yesterday,
It's
Pete.
national.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
It's
It's
global.
global.
That clip starting off with Dylan Gunther made me laugh. And just anytime Dylan Gunther is on my screen speaking words into a microphone, I'm going to laugh, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, this is going to be good. I saw that they made something involving Chalamet, and I was like, you know what? Everyone's dunking on Chalamet right now. How creative can you be? But these guys talking about the ballet, that's creative. Very good stuff from the Utah Mammoth. Doug Armstrong has stepped down.
Can I interrupt you?
Yep.
I saw chat talking about something on the sidebar, so I went and I did a little research. Apparently, Sharky, the San Jose Sharks mascot, went to a gay bar this week and was just fucking ripping it up. And there's
Hell
video.
yeah, brother.
I sent it in the
Dude,
chat. It's so funny.
That team is the most I've never seen an organization seem so genuinely for the young people.
For sure.
They get it, and it's not in a Target selling rainbow shit for a month out of the year type. We hate ICE, whether or not you try and make us look like we support ICE, and also we love the gays and the kids. We're just here to have a good time, and I love that shit.
Sean, can you play that video?
I don't have it yet. It'll be a minute.
Okay, effort it.
It's very fun.
Please and thank you. That's amazing, man. So inside you there
shit,
are,
he is ripping it up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Sharky is there to party. He is not just clocking in, clocking out.
So is it what's the is it like when Leslie Knope is at the Bulge? Remember that?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
She marries a couple of penguins, and it turns out that it was a same-sex marriage, and she becomes a political lightning rod, but also a gay icon. And they bring her to the gay bar in Pawnee, which is called the Bulge, and she just fucking rips it up, and they love her. And she's like, I'm at a place where people like me and aren't mad at me. What the fuck is this? Good app.
The only
Solid
bar
app.
that I know from Pawnee is the Snake Hole Lounge. Or
Snake Hole
is
Lounge
that
is a good
Pawnee or is
spot.
that the other place?
Oh, that might be in Eagleton.
It might
I think
be
it's in
Eagleton joint.
I don't know.
Parks and
I
Rec
think
that one's
is
in
truly
Pawnee.
a top tier show. That show is the best, man.
I love
Chat rules. I asked, is this like when Leslie Knope went to the Bulge? And someone immediately responds, yes, DJ. It is exactly like that. I cannot wait to see this video.
I have it when you're ready.
Let her
Hit
rip.
me.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best,
Sharky's doing
man.
the splits.
If I went to a bar and saw any NHL mascot there just hit the splits on the dance floor, I'd be like, I'm definitely on drugs right now. 100%.
Sharky, I mean, we've always been Sharky fans. We've got some Sharky paraphernalia on the set. We famously caught Sharky canoodling with Tate McRae. Is Sharky underrated? Because Sharky's been at the center of so many amazing
Sharky's
things.
properly rated. I think if you,
so
if you're a
Sharky
ball
is
knower,
considered goated?
I would say that Sharky is in like the top tier of NHL mascot. There's Gritty obviously exists in his own tier, which is at the very top. But if there's like an A tier below the S tier, Sharky, I think most people are putting in there if they know ball.
Well, but that's the thing. You can't say he's properly rated and then say if you know ball.
But
like
that's what the discussion always comes down to. Like anybody can be wrong and ignorant. But if like I think that people who are knowledgeable about what they're talking about recognize how good Sharky is.
But I think that typically when you're doing like the overrated, underrated thing, at least, and we try to not do it, but I think sometimes, if not most of the time, the conversation is about the like the general public's opinion.
Yeah.
For example, earmuffs. Like Taylor Swift is overrated as a songwriter because you go to the average person and you're like, hey, name a great songwriter. They'll be like, oh, Taylor Swift. That they might be overrating them. Whereas if you talk to songwriters and people in music, they'll name other people. So that's where,
because like I feel like Sharky belongs in the conversation amongst sports mascots in general. Like obviously there's like Gritty and the Philly Fanatic. Like there's a couple of like absolute S tier mascots, but I don't feel like people outside.
I thought I remember this. Last year we did a segment in 2025 where, and I believe it was late 2025, so it was this season. The San Jose Sharks had Sharky Hall of Fame night. Sharky was inducted into the National Mascot Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And was recognized as Mascot of the Year in 2025. I would say that is basis of saying Sharky is properly rated.
But again, that's like that's the National Mascot Hall of Fame is going to have the most knowledge about mascots possible. So yeah, like they're the knowingest of all ball knowers. So of course they're going to give Sharky his proper, because the question's not whether or not is Sharky an awesome mascot. That's just an objective reality. It's the question of does he get enough credit? And I would say amongst mascots generally, from the general populace, people aren't giving Sharky that amount of love because people aren't really paying attention. More so now, but generally people aren't paying attention to the San Jose Sharks.
Gritty's newer, more relatable with a lot of the things that Gritty does. Like Gritty's like the Alicia Alonso, and Sharky is the Anna Pavlova, where Sharky's been doing it and Sharky's been known, as Pete said, where like if you know, in this case for the analogy, your ballet, you know Anna Pavlova, you know the Eternal Swan, but that was in the late 1800s.
Sharky is one of 3 NHL mascots in that Hall of Fame. So he is getting, to Pete's point, he is getting the respect from actual ball knowers, because like UP, Tommy Hawk, and SJ Sharky. And I would say SJ Sharky being there is the most impressive, because the other two are like, those are like original 6 mascot. Obviously they haven't been around the entire time, but like those are legendary franchises. To be the little brother in California and get that kind of love speaks to how awesome SJ Sharky is.
Maybe it's just recency bias or the fact that we are having this exact conversation, but is Sharky our favorite mascot
in the league?
No, it's Gritty.
I mean, we've done stuff with Gritty, and
but like saying
Gritty's my favorite.
Saying Gritty's my favorite mascot feels like when I say Drake's my favorite artist. Like he just like it's like a bit of a war of attrition that I've lost. Like he's just been so in my face. I can't help but love Gritty. Sharky would be I listened to Drake more than anybody, but like I got my actual favorite. Like Sharky has
been a star from day one. Sharky has been a star from day one. I just sent this video in
Pre-plastic
chat,
surgery.
and I remembered seeing this a little while ago. Sharky was unveiled by being born out of a Zamboni. Like
and
during a game, the Sharks rolled out a Zamboni.
When nature called.
Yes.
Or when nature calls.
During a game, the Sharks rolled out a Zamboni, had smoke come out from under the hood of a Budweiser Zamboni, raised the top, and then out comes Sharky skating berths out of a Zamboni. Like, star from day one.
With a tail. So as I said, pre-plastic surgery, I also made a terrible mistake by suggesting that Drake is my favorite artist. The chat does not like that. I'm not gonna waste time on that. But yeah, Sharky had a tail.
Says Sean is on a hot streak of ruining his reputation.
Listen, I say this all the time. I feel like I've said it to you guys too, so maybe you can back me up on this. Drake is not my favorite artist, but he is my most listened to artist. I listen to him more than everybody every single year, but I'm not saying that Drake is like makes the best music or it has my favorite songs. That's not the case. I just listen to him a lot because he makes a lot of music that's popular. That's
okay.
it. Sharky is actually one of the GOATs.
Yeah, and speaking of GOATs, before chat gets on me, I left out Galina Ulanova from that conversation. It was just because we were comparing two. We were comparing Gritty to Sharky, so I just threw out two ballerinas. But, I mean, 16 years as prima ballerina assoluta, Ulanova, one of the GOATs.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm going down my fucking ballet rabbit holes, but that's me. Okay. Doug Armstrong has stepped down as Team Canada. Guilty.
Known ballerina guy.
Guilty as charged. Okay. Doug Armstrong spoke to Pierre LeBrun, told him that he's notified Hockey Canada. He's stepping down as the men's team general manager. Sean, do you, later in the show, if you can get the video of the Sharky birth, I'd love to have that at the end of the show. Pete and I will yap about Doug Armstrong and the World Cup of Hockey in the meantime. So we already knew that Armstrong is also stepping down as Blues GM at the end of this season, but he's going to remain the president of hockey operations. This from Pierre LeBrun. Armstrong's decision to vacate the position has nothing to do with falling short in the gold medal game in Milan. He was going to step down, win or lose. Quote, "It's time for a change," Armstrong told The Athletic. "I've enjoyed every aspect of it. Obviously, you wish you could go out on top, but it would be selfish to want to do it again. It's such a great experience, and I think more people should enjoy it." Pete, I don't want to put Doug Armstrong under the microscope and say, you only quit because you lost. I think it makes sense. If he's leaving one job, then maybe he just...
Ron, DJ, dial-up internet watch.
Ron,
hate to see it. But, I mean, I will say, sorry, DJ, you cut out. Your internet is Ron doo-doo gay.
Nice
but I will say, I agree with you that this doesn't really raise any flags. I'd love to make fun of him being like, "Ooh, you quit because you lost." But he also quit his full-time day job like 4 years in advance, which just signals to me that this guy doesn't really want to commit to general managing for a long period of time. It's probably a guy who has hit a point in his life where he's like, I would like to limit my day-to-day responsibilities moving forward as much as I can. So one last kick at the can for Hockey Canada. He comes in second place, and then he bids adieu. I think that's kind of what's happening here.
Chad clocked it. I clarified that Taylor Swift is not an amazing songwriter, and wouldn't you know it, and I did my internet speed test. I'm still humming at like 100 Mbps or whatever. I apologize for that, but I agree with every word of what you said. He's still going to have, like, the job that he's staying on with the Blues is still president of hockey operations. That's still a lot of work, but I think he's trying to lessen his load a little bit. What's interesting about this is that it's not known who's going to take over the job, but there is this.
Alexander Steen.
That'd be the best.
That would be the best if Alexander Steen just became the GM of Hockey Canada. He of Swedish hockey fame.
I'm going to make a graphic like hired, and it's Alexander, and we'll quote tweet that. Yes. Okay. Very good. Depending on how long he plays, Armstrong sees, quote, future Team Canada GM potential in Sidney Crosby. Quote, I hope that one day he manages Team Canada. He's got great hockey knowledge. He's got experience. He's got passion. He's got drive. There's a purpose to everything he does. And quite honestly, I see a lot of that in Connor McDavid too. Don't make Connor McDavid work.
I know.
Connor McDavid seems like
I
prime.
could definitely
You'll
see
never
Crosby.
hear from that guy ever again.
I could definitely see Crosby. I think that we're gonna see Sidney Crosby involved with hockey until like the day that he dies. He's going to be around forever. I can absolutely see him being like an owner of the Penguins, just like Mario. I can see him being a GM. I can see him being in basically any capacity involving hockey. And obviously with his resume and his acumen, he's just going to be like given jobs forever, pretty much.
Yeah, love that, man. Now, while we're doing international hockey talk, let's do the 2028 World Cup of Hockey, because yesterday we learned that Edmonton, Calgary, and Prague will host. We will go to at least one of those. But now we've got countries saying that they might not participate if Russia is involved. This is per Robert Rampa. Since the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Russia, he reports that Finland, Sweden, and Czechia have told the NHL they're not going to participate in the World Cup if Russia is involved. That stinks because there's supposed to be 8 countries for this thing. Bettman says that there's time to see how things play out. Bettman, famously, like me, is stuck in Florida right now for the GM meetings. He says that, quote, there isn't an immediate need or urgency to make that decision, so let's see how things play out. I think I speak for all of us when I say we want this to be best on best, so have the best there. And obviously, I think that maybe I'm naive, but maybe I'm naive and maybe this is incorrect, so if it is, I apologize. We know from certain Pride stuff that not all Russian players represent everything that Russia stands for and does. So I would hate for certain athletes who are the best at what they do to be excluded from a best on best tournament. That's my thought. I would hope that there is some resolution that allows Russian players to compete here.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and especially with it being an NHLPA event, like you have so many Russian players involved in the NHL, and like if the IIHF, who is famously strict and famously like pretty cutthroat in the way that it operates, like if they're going to ban Russia, which they have since 2022, like that is the IIHF. But the NHL and NHLPA has relationships to uphold with players that play in its league and within its players association. They have more of an investment in keeping a lot of these Russian players happy. And I think that they've got plenty of runway to work something out. But this is obviously a bad sign. Like this is, I hate that we're talking about Russia being excluded from another tournament when, like, if you're doing best of 8, it's like Russia is probably the 3rd best country, arguably, like at lowest right now in terms of hockey talent. It's not truly best on best if they're excluded.
And Ron Duguay will lose his mind at this, but you know what people are going to say. And they're saying in the chat right now, people are going to say that if you're going to kick a country out for invading another country, then there's other countries that we're talking about in this tournament that could be looked at as well. And call me childish as a hockey fan who really does just want the hockey. I don't want this to turn into all that. I don't want this to turn into, okay, these guys don't get to play because of what their country is doing. Because again, like, then you open it up to people looking at, I don't know, the United States.
Right. I mean, I do not think that athletes should, under most circumstances, I don't think that athletes should be held accountable for the actions of their government. Like, this is a international hockey competition, and Sean, go ahead.
I think the thing that's being left out is not really that, like, I don't think the problem is that the players are, like, supporting Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's more that, like, this, like, sports washes. It allows Russia to be present on a global stage, and just like they're one of the other ones. So, like, I don't really think it's so much about the fact that like there's players who are just like, yes, it's good that we invaded Ukraine. It's more that, like, Russia being there makes it seem like they're not really doing anything wrong. To which I think, like you said, DJ, and plenty of people in the chat said, like, applies for the U.S. as well. I think the difference is that this is largely like this is being put on by a North American organization, and so like I don't think like the sports washing of it applies in the same way to the U.S. because like we are living this. It's not the same way that like people don't really know don't know as much about Russia, and so Russia being present in something like this might make people think that like, oh, Russia is doing and maybe this is me being biased because I'm like I do think that like America and Russia are doing equally evil things, but I don't think the effect of Russia or the U.S. participating in this tournament would be the same as Russia participating in this tournament. But yeah, I just think generally speaking, it's not so much that like the players are pro invasion. It's more that like showing up with the Russian jersey, the Russia flag, listening to the Russian anthem, particularly in Czechia, like in Europe where this is happening in their backyard. Like I think that hits a little different than like, although most of the globe's not happy with the U.S. right now, they are still generally speaking our allies. So I just think it would affect like the players participating, stuff like that differently.
Well, if that's the case, then like why doesn't the NHL and NHLPA strip like the Russia of it all and allow them to compete under a different sort of
it needs to be rest of world
nomenclature or branding or whatever. Like if they had
exactly
a
what I was
Team
gonna
Europe type team that allowed them to just take all the Russian players and maybe like I guess like include some other countries or in that area, even though it would probably be mostly Russia. I think that kind of settles that argument.
Although if they do a Team Europe that is Russia plus certain other countries, like say you did Team Europe of the last World Cup of Hockey, 2016. I think it was 2016. If you did the Team Europe in those countries and added Russia to it, then, well, that team's probably going to win the whole tournament. And obviously one team has to, but I think that people in the United States and Canada would be really mad if like a super team were to be put together that had like Kucherov, Draisaitl, and co. as a result of geopolitical reasons.
Well, I mean, with 8 teams, I feel like Germany should probably be one of the teams that is in the field.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just think that there is, I don't know what it is, but feels like there's got to be a solution to this. And just like excluding all of these Russian athletes from international competition until further notice, when there is such a great collection of players and such a great collection of talent that deserves to like have their opportunity to compete on the world stage, just seems unfair to me. There's got to be some sort of path that doesn't necessarily punish all of those guys.
Yeah,
Chad also raises the point that the Team Europe of 2016 plus Russia, absolutely correct. My bad. So many of those countries would say we're not doing that.
Well, and also Russia is not in Europe largely, as another point that a lot of people are making. But yeah, I think ultimately like the difference here, I think a big difference here is that like is also not that like the NHL and the NHLPA is being like we don't want Russia here. It's that these countries who are like, it's not unreasonable for those countries to be like, if we don't stop Russia, they're coming for us next type of thing. Whereas like as fucked up as what the United States is doing is not directly is not a direct threat to the other countries participating in this tournament or hypothetically participating in this tournament. So like, yeah, this is largely like, I think if like the Swedes, the Czechs, the Finns were all like, we don't care, like Russia would be in the tournament. But this is a result of them being a direct threat to those countries if this plays out the way that they're afraid that it would play out. So like I think there are differences between what Russia, like the Russia situation, the U.S. situation, despite being equally fucked up. Maybe not equally fucked up, but both being fucked up. I don't know if there's a point of doing like a bad Olympics type of thing there, but.
Okay, well, let's take the hard turn of potentially playing gritty. I'm sorry, Sharky being born. Do you have that?
I do.
Awesome. Let's see Sharky be birthed. Nice.
It's insane. Oh, this is like a Yeah, this is just
height
a
video?
highlight reel. This is the best. Is that in a courtroom?
Oh, I thought he was shooting a gun at first, but he was playing the guitar.
Was Sharky just like yucking it up in a courtroom for some reason?
We can go back.
Oh, he's gonna fuck up Phil Collins?
Damn.
Whoa!
That's a
Holy
crazy
Sharky
ending.
Gaga. Damn.
That was a crazy ending.
Can you play that again? I want to see the courtroom thing. Whole thing. Thanks. Oh yeah.
I can't
this is Ace
believe
Ventura When Nature Calls.
that looked like
He
Sharky
said
was just
city
taking a
council
full-on
meeting?
header off the rafters. Classic mascot behavior, dumping popcorn on somebody's head.
Yeah.
Sharky, yeah, that's a
Yeah, that was.
that's a courtroom
Yeah.
or like a town hall.
Yeah, some kind of. But that's a very complicated board there at the bottom.
Well, that was in
Yeah.
like the 90s, so technology.
That looks
wasn't
like
as
some
good.
like
That was
some
Mad
Sharky out of
Men,
politics.
like when people have the switchboard, and then you have the Gaga Super Bowl jump, just wild.
That's fucking insane. It's just
And it's not
a
even like
dude
a
in shark
rappel.
costume jumping off the rafters of an arena for
Yeah,
a
like-
job.
There, plenty of mascots. Like this was very famous. Sabretooth used to do this. Like he would rappel from the ceiling, but doing a full-on like header, like bungee jump, like free fall is insane.
Goated.
Someone in the chat says that Sharky swam so Gritty could do whatever Gritty does.
So
Man.
he could. What's he ride around on? Not a Segway, but like the
Yeah,
hoverboard.
it's like
Like a hoverboard.
Segway-ish. Oh yeah, hoverboard. Okay, folks, this morning over breakfast and coffee, I took a peek at the slate, and Chaboy was straight up moaning. Okay,
Jesus
so
Christ.
Sean, show me
I don't need
what
to
he's
know
going to
that.
be.
Are you going to moan this time? Because if so, I'm not going to show you.
Yeah, please mute his
I
mic.
got it on my system.
Okay.
I got it on my system. I'm just saying, before you even look, this is an A. All right, 10 games, 9 games.
Nope, 9
Islanders at Maple Leafs. That's at 7 p.m. Who cares about that? Although there are pick implications. Bruins Habs in Montreal, always a classic. You got Blue Jackets hosting the Hurricanes. That's a good one. Wild at Blackhawks, 7:30 p.m. You can catch that on TNT.
Did you just moan, Pete?
Maybe we.
That wasn't me. That was DJ.
Oh, you asshole! No, I didn't. Please.
It sounded.
I
It was
keep my
very. I
moans.
was reading the chats and I was like, I'm pretty sure I just heard a moan.
That was a very delayed reaction to my moan. He got through
Yeah,
like 2 more games
Sean-
before you addressed it.
You moaned in. I remember a social clip. I think that maybe it was that I cut it, and that's why I remember it. But like you were moaning, you were like, "Yes, yeah." It was like I think it was looking at a jersey or something. But please, this show is not above moaning.
It should be.
Yeah, maybe Preds and Jets at 8 p.m. in a maybe we talk ourselves into maybe we can make the playoffs bowl. Oil Shark Bowl, 9 p.m. Eastern. You got to bring Sharky on the road for this one. Get Sharky and Hunter together. That's at 9. Panthers Canucks in a both teams kind of suck bowl. That's at 10. But I mean, the tuck of all tucks, an Alex Tuck. That is the Buffalo Sabres playing the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas at 10. And then if you also want to watch the Lightning in the Kraken at 10, that's cool. If that's your want, go for it. I'm giving this an A. This is an A, right?
Yeah. I think this is a very, very strong slate.
A very good game at every time slot, I would say.
Yes, exactly. 7, you got the Bruins and Habs. That's going to be great. 9,
I'm
Sharks.
honestly more interested. Well, not more interested, but I'm equally interested in Carolina Columbus, I would say.
That's going to be
7
really
p.m.
good.
You know what's
Yeah.
cool? We've arrived at the point of the season where I want to watch the bad teams to see what happens in those games because there's actual like investment in the like race to the bottom. Like I'm watching and interested in Toronto Maple Leafs games at this point because I'm invested in that team and where they finish.
Yes, very fair. A lot of Finnish talk and Swedish talk in today's show.
Nick Foligno revenge game. Didn't even think about
wow. Yeah.
True.
Get him. I don't think that he hates the Blackhawks.
So either.
Game I want to talk about from Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game. When you bet with Sports Interaction, bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Sports Interaction Ontario, only 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Is Bruins Habs at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm taking the Habs.
What you're about to say.
I'm sorry, but I'm taking Habs 60-minute line. Bruins on the second night of a back-to-back, and they went to overtime last night. Should have gone to a shootout, but that was an exciting overtime with the Devils. And I was watching, to your point, like this was more scoreboard-ish watching because I need to keep an eye on how well the Ducks are doing because the Pacific Division is very relevant to me right now. Canadians let one slip away on Sunday against the Ducks. They should have at least gotten a point out of that game, should have at least gotten to overtime, but they allow one to Cutter Gauthier late in the third. They come out of it with 0 points, so they should be hungry, they should be motivated, and the Bruins should be tired, so I've got the Habs beating the Bruins in regulation. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Thank you to before we get to some super chats. Oh no, we'll do super chats first if Sean, you want to throw them up.
Yep.
Damn, the Wild have lost 3 straight games, and they've lost to the Flyers, Rangers, and Maple Leafs. That is a tough 3-game run.
Not a lot of good teams winning hockey games, with the exception of the Buffalo Sabres and Carolina Hurricanes, I guess. But,
yes.
A lot of the good teams
Penguins.
I feel like have been losing recently. Penguins. I said good teams.
Dallas Stars lost last night, but they've been on a
They were
a
yes.
real heater.
Their streak ended, but just saying, anybody's cup.
The longest win streak in the NHL right now is 2 games.
Penguins.
That is
probably
crazy.
a handful of teams. Yeah.
We're on 2 games.
There you go.
Super chats.
Want to do super
Yep.
chats? Glimmer Barn. Last stream got a little heated. While it might feel like a casual chat for viewer, for show hosts, getting hit with a wave of comments can't be fun. You're still people after all, and y'all are good fellas. Have one on me. Wow, that's a very nice chat. We should get cooked by chat more often. So that the following day we can get sympathy super chats.
I don't. There's a whole lot of we going on here. I don't know how much.
I would say that I escaped yesterday the most unscathed.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying. I feel like it was largely. It was a bad showing for yours truly.
I'll also say, and granted, I drew some of the ire, but not as much as you, Sean. I felt that it was mostly respectful. Like, we can do that kind of stuff.
I would,
and
my
again, like we said
hurt.
something that was incorrect. So, if you want to call us a dummy, then
what was said that was incorrect?
If people want to yell at me for not knowing ballet, I will absolutely be like, okay, you're right. I don't know ballet. If I gave off the impression that I was acting like I knew ballet, that's on me because I absolutely don't.
Yeah, and what I got wrong, Sean, not to have people roast me again, was that I did not remember that, or just missed. I saw Sinners twice. I did not know that there was ballet in Sinners. So
you also said that you didn't like that scene, and people cooked you for that.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's fine. Like, you're allowed to have that opinion.
I'll stand on that. Don't like that scene. I think that the song rocks though.
Barthez Battalion says the last time a team lost because of gay was when Ilya didn't text Shane back and it ruined his day. There you go. Athena Brew says attending my first NHL game, Blackhawks vs. Wild, with my girlfriend as a late birthday gift. I wanted to thank you for the show and community that made me loving hockey possible as a trans lesbian. Right on. Hell yeah. Enjoy the game.
Oh yeah. That's a banger game.
Yeah.
Annie says, I love the Pens versus Avs game last night. Gino had 3 points in 4 penalty minutes after getting out of suspension jail. Reminds me of Pens versus Oilers.
I can't believe we let that criminal back on the streets.
Put him back in jail.
Where's Bill Clinton when you need him?
Luxury Trash says, please watch the 1999 Sharky Rappel incident. Oh, boy.
I mean, we watched Sharky Rappel.
Have you seen what they do in Atlanta for the Falcons games? They have that mascot like drop from one end and swing. Like, that's the real Gaga drop. Like, he just fucking fully swings across the football field. It's insane.
What, was it the Denver Nuggets mascot who passed out
Yes,
as he
I
was
believe so.
rappelling and then hit the floor and just crumpled into a heap?
Yes.
It's
believe-
not funny, but it is very funny. The visual of it is extremely funny.
I think Sabretooth might have gotten injured. I think there might have been a broken leg or some point that may have led to the no longer rappelling from the ceiling type of deal. Might be a myth. I don't know.
Partisan says Boston, Montreal on St. Patty's Day. Couldn't pick a better day. Yeah, I might actually just I might go to the local watering hole, have me a Guinness, and watch some Bruins Canadians. That seems like a fine idea.
You can still get up to Montreal in time. Yeah, that was the last one. You can still get up to Montreal.
I could still, just head up there
It's only
now.
a 5-hour drive, right?
Oh, that'd be the best.
Someone in chat just said literally the only podcast that loves gay but hates ballet and Taylor Swift songwriting.
There's only we love gay and we hate Taylor Swift songwriting, or think it's overrated. There is no hatred, I would say, speaking for the three of us, towards ballet and opera.
Yeah. I don't hate Taylor Swift songwriting. Like, there are a lot of good. I Know Places and Last Great American Dynasty are, like, I think, examples of really good songwriting. And then there's a lot of songs that she has that are examples of pretty simple songwriting, which is okay, but I think not mind-blowing. But Last Great American Dynasty, I'll give you that all day. That song is an absolute banger.
Got another super
in
chat.
The ballet, in opera, we just, as Sean said, we're just ignorant for now. Or these two are.
No,
I'm sorry.
There's no... I'm not doing this again. My point was misconstrued. We have another super chat from Gabby Nicole.
Yep.
Gabby says, for DJ to get a cup of subpar non-peat brewed coffee when he hopefully gets to the airport. It's very nice.
Thank you, Gabby. I will do that tomorrow evening. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you to Gabby. Thank you to, you know what? Matthew Auchincloss. I'm not going to thank Ron Duguay. I hope you don't mind there. I'm going to thank Pierre LeBrun. Going to thank Doug Armstrong. Going to thank, obviously, Anna Pavlova. Going to thank Alicia Alonso. Going to thank Galina Ulanova for sure. And you know what? I'll throw Margot Fonten in there as well.
I'd like to thank Sarah Palin for having a correct approach to wrong opinions.
Being dumb as fuck, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do wrong right. That's the Pete Blackburn guarantee. I will do wrong right. And thank you to Sharky. Oh man,
doing wrong right
super chat.
is a lost art, I would say. I think that's a good platform to stand on. If you're going to be wrong, at least be wrong in the right way.
Yes. Love it.
Partisan says famously green Boston Fleet at Toronto as well. That's right.
Big
we got
game.
the Fleet up there. Very excited about the Fleet game in a few weeks.
Fleet, the Fleet need to not be assholes. They've been assholes far too much recently.
Can we thank Sean? Your call. Are we thanking Gino?
Gino should be thanking the courts for
lazy
allowing
ass
him
George Parros
an early release, because that guy should be in jail forever. Not even George Parros, because George Parros just does hockey punishment. He should have been tried in an actual court of law.
Thank you, Rachel, for the fuzzy peaches. Thank you, Pete, for not eating them all. Although
I
don't know if that's a sincere thanks.
Yeah. Thanks St. Patrick for chasing the snakes out of Ireland.
Thank you, chat says.
There,
thank you, trans lesbians, for going to hockey games.
Right on.
Thank you. Thank you, countries who are not invading other countries. You're
Absolutely
the real
no
MVPs.
acknowledgement to my question I had there, but that's fine.
What
was it?
That's I was asking if that's what St. Patrick did, right? The casting out snakes from Ireland. That's the St. Patrick legend, right?
Oh, so a regular Rob.
No, the opposite of Rob. Rob catches
brings
them.
the snakes in.
He says,
right.
He says, get out of here. St. Patrick says, get out of here, snakes.
Thank you to Eric Carlson. Thank you to Andy Petrillo and to Elmer Soderblom. And I think that can be... Utah Mammoth. Thank you to everyone. We've got another banger for you tomorrow. Make sure, did you see Young Gritty is on Instagram? I want to call that out for everybody because I'm starting to get the old alerts. Young Gritty tagged you in a post, and that's a fun and horrifying feeling. Young Gritty is doing
the early days when What Chaos memes would tag us in something, and I'd be like, oh boy, let's see what this is.
Yes. Whoever made the post of the community scene, Sean saying,
I can excuse racism.
I can excuse racism, but I can't excuse not knowing puck. Pete saying you can excuse racism. Some really good memes out there. Fun stuff. We'll see you online, and we'll be back to review a banger of a slate tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.